Being buried alive is one of my worst nightmares, quite frankly.
You started the story.
And I'm going to end it right here. You're listening to Left on Weddit.
Welcome to Left on Weddit.
Adam here.
And Georgia over here.
We've done everything to plan your wedding and now it's time to hear about them.
We have left out nothing and now we dive into the deep, dark world of Reddit threads.
We've got your horror stories, wedding dramas and everything in between.
We've rebranded ourselves as experts.
Welcome
to Left on Weddit. Anyway,
wow.
Let's talk about some Reddit threads.
That was one way to start an
because
episode.
we are left on Reddit.
My pterodactyl noise is coming out a lot today. Hit me.
How does a pterodactyl give birth, do you think?
You don't want to know.
I don't.
Flies out of the womb. Do pterodactyls fly? Yes. Starts with a P. That's all I know about pterodactyls. Silent P.
Yes.
The way you just looked at me was like, I've never had so much distaste for someone in my life. She's looked at me and went, yes.
Well, I suddenly thought about the spelling and then my mind went to the toilet.
Do you need to go?
No, but you said silent P.
Oh,
And I'm like,
I see.
Hopefully that's what you do.
No. No,
Okay.
I hit the water.
What?
Well, if you're trying to do a silent P, you sort of aim for the porcelain. But if you're trying to do a loud P, you just go straight into the water. Less messy if you go into the water, less splash.
I hope that despite however many days into 2025 we are, that you've had a good break from starting.
Yeah, thinking before I speak.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do now is my other 2025 resolution. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to listen.
Oh, that's so considerate of you.
You haven't got long because I want to speak.
I'm so glad
badly.
that
so badly.
you are planning what you are speaking because this person on Reddit did not.
Well played.
Not the couple getting married, but the best man and maid of honor who were married to each other. Best man's speech was all about how hard it was to be married. I've been married for a year and it feels like 100 years. Maid of honor stands up to give a speech, just says, ditto. It was so awkward and really brought the whole room down. Brother of the bride stood up and gave a nice impromptu speech. Impromptu is not a great way to describe a speech, but I'm glad it went well for him. All about teamwork and having a partner to go through life with. How happy the family was to have the groom join their family. Best man and maid of honor were divorced within a year. Couple who got married are still married 30 years later. I sometimes wonder if the speeches actually were helpful in how not to act as a couple. And that is pretty much the end of that story.
Oh my goodness.
And the moral of it is please plan your speeches and maybe sound check with someone.
What? Why would you air your dirty laundry during your speech as well? That's nutso.
Maybe because therapy's so expensive these days.
Yeah, so it's like a group therapy session that someone else has paid for.
Except no one's going to say anything.
That's a good point.
That's why it was so awkward.
Oh my goodness. I love that so much. I also, to be honest, well played for her to get up and just say ditto. That is real funny.
Yeah, she certainly maybe did not plan that.
Oh, is that all she said? Is that what it says? She just got up and said
Yes.
ditto.
Just says ditto. It was so awkward. Can you
Yeah.
imagine the vibe in the room?
You got to say though, you know, sometimes when those speeches are going too long and then someone does a short one, it's like, yes, I can get up and pee. I think everyone in the room would have been stoked that she
Yeah.
really said ditto, quite frankly.
Yes, especially after that.
Time for a wee break, going straight into the water.
I think so. That sounds like a really, really good plan. Maybe they'll have some cake
I
as part of their dessert.
Okay. Cool, man.
It's going to lead into my next
Oh,
story.
you were segueing. I wanted to tell you about my neighbour.
Please.
I don't know if they listen to this podcast. I went around
Why
for
not? You've thrown every single
beer with
person
my
that you know
neighbour?
and love under the bus.
my neighbour's trampoline flipped into his window last night, by the way. Nutso, right? Went and he got me a stubby holder for the beer, and all his stubby holders are like the wedding stubby
Love
holders,
that.
the couple's names that they give out. And he said that so many of his friends are divorced that when his friends come over for a beer, he has to be really careful of whose stubby cooler he gets out. Because the day before, one of his friends had come over and he'd given him the stubby cooler from his wedding and he was
Oh,
divorced.
no.
And he's just like, I really like the stubby coolers, so I'm not going to throw them out, but I have to be careful because I've got like 4 divorced friends.
Yes.
They all gave stubby coolers out.
Mine are displayed from the top, so you wouldn't even be able to see the design. You'd have to really think about the layout and create like a stubby holder library.
That's something called a library. A library of stubby coolers. Oh.
We've got so many.
Yeah?
So many, and there are many wedding ones, so that is very easy to have that happen.
My favourite gift that you can give people at a wedding is a stubby cooler.
Bonbonniere.
I love that word so much. It makes me
Say it with a French accent.
Bonbonniere. I watched Ratatouille recently. It's a good movie.
Did you? I thought you were about to do a Borat accent then.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Aren't you?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
They say,
Sorry.
our feet touch then.
You're in my space.
What? Where's the line?
There.
That's not the line. But I have bigger... Oh, okay. I've got a big foot, so maybe we should sit further away from each other. I used to help out with weddings at my church, and I had the cutest drama ever. 2 little boys were ring bearers, and it was time for them to walk down the aisle, and the littler one, he was probably about 3 years old, just stood there. Cute. His older brother, he was about 5 years old, nudged him to go, and the little one turned around and pushed him back. So the older one pushed him, and they fought, wrestled, and pushed each other the whole way down the aisle. I've found that hilarious. The bride did not, though. I love these kids.
You have to be able to go with the flow with children.
Honestly, that sort of stuff happens all the time.
Is that all they did?
Yeah, that's it.
That's quite good.
These kids are just walking down the aisle. He's like, hey, Jimmy Joe, your feet suck. And he pushes
Your
him.
feet suck.
Yeah, that's what he
Your
said.
dogs suck.
Your dogs. Get your dogs out of this wedding. He pushed him back, and they're just wrestling down the aisle. Super cute. It's a moment.
It's quite a dramatic entrance, really.
Moment.
It's better than stopping and having a big old cry.
Yeah, right?
Because that
It's kinda
happens
funny.
too.
Kids at weddings, by the way, just do whatever the hell they want. You know? You just gotta
I
sort of
always
roll with
say
it.
hope for the best, but expect the worst.
Exactly.
And then no one will be disappointed.
And you just actually, if this happens, you just got to make sure that there's responsible parents around, right? So it's like, make sure that the parents are like there, they have a contingency to take them away.
It's
or
a game
whatever.
of piggy in the middle and the children are the pigs. Someone sends them off and then there's got to be someone on the other end to catch them.
But who is so in Piggy in the Middle, there's someone in the middle trying to catch the ball and never gets it.
Yes.
Who's that?
I'm not sure.
I think it's a game of catch.
Are you trying to play a game? I love
No, I'm trying to decide the rules
I
of the
love
game.
playing games. I've got charades. Do you listen
What?
to how to play charades?
It's a game of catch. You're throwing the children to the end of the aisle, and then the next person is catching them. Piggy in the middle, you don't want
Yes.
them to catch it.
Yes.
Who's the piggy?
The piggy is
But
the
who's
children.
The middle? The piggy is the ball. No, the piggy is the person in the middle. The ball is the ball.
Yeah, and they're trying to get to the other parent.
But
Because
who's
the parent
trying
has
to
the
catch them
ball.
and doesn't get them?
The parent that left them behind.
No, that's the
They
first
don't want them to
person.
go back.
I don't think you know the rules of piggy in the middle.
I do.
Might be more like stuck in the mud.
Called wedding wiki in the middle.
What?
I was just trying to make it piggy in the middle of weddings. Do you know what children do like?
Lollipops.
You're on the right track.
My
Keep
son
going.
conned me into a lollipop the other day.
Oh, did he like it?
Yeah, he said he wanted to get a haircut. So when he got the haircut, he said, I want a lollipop. Had to
And
get
they-
a lollipop because he got a haircut.
Yes, they often
Smart.
do have that as a reward. If they didn't have a lollipop, what else could make a child happy at a wedding?
Ice cream.
Yep, keep going.
Think
about all your experience.
Bluey on the TV. Someone dressing up as Bluey and being a child entertainer.
I need you to think about realistic weddings that you currently go to and what would make a child happy. You need to really strip it back to the basics.
I think that children love like long, heartfelt, romantic vows. I like sitting there and watching.
You
that.
like long romantic vows.
I am.
What do the children
a
like?
celebrant. What do children like? What do children like? What do our children like?
When
Long
you get-
walks on the beach.
When you get in the car after a wedding
Slow
and you
dancing.
start to do your Instagram rambles, what is often on your face?
Cake.
Excellent. Here we go. The groom took the stupid cake thing to an extreme, similar to what you do in your Instagram stories.
How dare you?
The bride had given him his bite. You know how they cut the cake and then they feed
Yeah.
each other like dirty animals? It's cute.
Did you add that bit? Dirty animals?
I did.
Okay.
The bride had given him his bite and mushed a little on his chin or nose. She's not sure. He then took a piece and mashed it into her face so hard that she ended up with a bloody nose. Cake, frosting, blood in her eyes and down the front of her dress. She had to go get cleaned up, had her makeup redone, and was ugly crying within an hour of saying, I do. He didn't give a fuck.
Really?
Hoo-yah!
Whoa!
Wow!
Oh, there's a ninja in the room.
Well, that's apparently what you do when you feed your wife cake.
A bit of a toxic personality in the groom there. Didn't give a toss, did he?
That would be DJAT. DG18. DeGat.
I was just trying to sense myself.
Oh.
For goodness sake.
Well, we all knew what you were doing.
Are you a fan of the people feeding each other cake? Because I just want to go back to the story what you said, like animals.
Well, it does look a little bit like animals. Isn't that what animals like to do?
Feed each other cake?
If they had hands?
What animals feed each other with hands?
I'm not sure.
I think
But apparently you watch a lot of National Geographic.
Animals are more like feed themselves beings.
Okay, please tell us more about how a giraffe would feed itself.
A giraffe just uses its long tongue.
How?
Evolution is incredible in what it's done to us and how different animals can survive in different climates and environments and spaces and places. And if you go into colder parts of the world, they've got more fur. It's quite incredible. They opposable thumbs is all us and monkeys. Incredible, right?
Yes. Have you heard about?
What?
Have you looked at your finger recently about where you hold your phone?
No, is there a dent in my finger or something?
You should look.
In what finger?
Which finger do you hold your phone with?
I use all my fingers, I think. My pinky?
Yeah, but your pointer finger, because when you hold it like that.
I use my pinky to hold the bottom.
Okay, well, look at your pinky.
I don't use my phone that often.
Anyway, if you're listening at home, apparently you've been left on David Attenborough, who is the king of all evolution, but he's not actually changing. He's a perfect human who doesn't use his phone.
Never.
You're just amazing. God's greatest gift. Well done.
Thanks.
But for everybody else, check your fingers. Thanks for listening.
God, we're so happy that you listened. And if you want to see a little bit more, make sure you follow us on our socials.
We have TikTok and Instagram, and you can find us at Left on Wed Podcast.
And if you want a little bit more from just us, you can follow Georgia at Georgia Fletcher Weddings.
And follow Adam at Married by Adam.
Oh my goodness, we're everywhere. And if you love it, rate, review, subscribe, whatever all the cool kids do it for us because we love you more than you love us. Validate us. We, Adam and Georgia, would like to take a moment to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Guringai people, on which we're recording today.
We pay our respects to their elders past and present, and we recognise their ongoing connection to the land, sea and community.
As we share our stories of love and connection, we honour the oldest continuous culture in the world.
And we celebrate the storytelling traditions that have been passed down through the generations.
It is such a privilege to create on this country, and we are so grateful to be here today.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.